Alexa, turn on Man Cave. Alrighty, folks. So, watching My Hero Academia Vigilantes right now. I got 2 video games in transit that I'm going to play next. We got Indiana Jones. Finally, freaking Gamefly's taken forever to ship that to me. I've literally had it at number 1 for like 8 months. And Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, which I believe is like a Japanese Soul-style type game with some sort of hot protagonist. So, whichever game arrives first, I'll start playing. However, I'm going to be just so ultra busy here in the next several weeks and whatnot. My B-day's coming up. Guess my age in the comments below. So just super, super busy. Been making lots of sales at work. Things are just really good right now. I did officially pre-order Saruman from Spec Fiction. So that is where I put my deposit down today. So yeah, that bad boy is coming home. So, crazy thing happened. Someone had contacted me wanting to buy a very rare statue of mine, which is this Ultron. Now, I have never actually seen this for sale, ever. Not once have I seen it on Facebook, eBay, or anything. And it does give me every single Marvel villain. However, someone offered me $5,000 for this collectible plus shipping and cover PayPal fees and everything. That is a lot of money. Honestly, I can't remember what I paid for this. I think it was like $1,200 if I remember correctly. This has a very unique feature where it does have a motion sensor. So, and it's technically like a phone charger. There is a charger right here, right there. And has a plug-in in the back. There's a rechargeable battery. And I can basically have this set up so anytime I walk by, it lights it up. It is very sensitive, and you can kind of set it to always be on or use the motion sensor. And the motion sensor is right there. So if I come in the room, it instantly lights up. Obviously, it's much cooler lit up, but generally I don't light up a lot of my statues just because wear and tear, ruins it. But $5,000. Obviously, that's a lot of money that could buy any of these silicone, any bust on this wall or in this room outside of Thanos is less than 5 Gs. I'd say the closest is Captain at 4,500. This was also about 4,500. Same with Bale. But that's a lot of money, and it is hard to turn down a whopping 5 Gs. It will suck to not have this. What I'd probably do is just spread out this display, make it look nicer. I could obviously just put Deadpool facing me instead of that off angle. I could just move Loki to the left, put Deadpool there. Deadpool's not as wide as him, so I could spread this whole display out a little bit nicer. So that is what I will probably do. The person doesn't have all the money right now, and I don't want to do a payment plan. I'm not a fan of payment plans at all. I've gotten screwed over on them. So I just told him, hey, just pay me in full once you have the money. So yeah, most likely we will be selling this. They're already asking for a shipping quote, so I'm assuming they probably are close to having the money. But yeah, this bad boy will probably be out of the collection here very soon. Normally I would never sell this because I really like having all the original Avenger villains. And there is technically an Ultron 1/3 that's being made by Hannah Scammer Lee. But I would not buy that from her. She's a scammer. But yeah, this is, as far as I know, the only Ultron in existence outside of a 1/10 scale Iron Studios. So it's a shame to lose it, but you just can't deny $5,000, folks. That's a lot of freaking money. That alone could pay for Queen Studios' Black Myth Wukong life-size bust, which is set to ship in Q4. Now, it's not like the money is the most important side of things because, I made a sale just on Monday and I made $5,000 in commission. But it's still $5,000. That's a lot of money. Even still, that's a lot of money. So, any day now, Lady D is going to hit. And my... Let's see, yeah, Lady D's going to hit. My KD Goku vs. Vegeta did ship. It's not picked up yet, but I was told it shipped fast, yet it's not picked up. So I'm thinking it actually was shipped slow, even though I was told it would be fast. but it looks like it's the same shipping method as Lady D, which means it's going to take a month. I was really hoping to get it here in the next 2 weeks, but it's highly unlikely. No idea what's going on with Sume Goku, as my retailer I ordered it through blatantly lied to me, telling me it would arrive in 60 days, and now has no effing idea, which pisses me off. I've been actually trying to find it elsewhere. I'd even pay more money if I could just get it sooner. I'm sick of waiting. So, Lord of the Rings is definitely going to remain in this room. We are going to more or less get rid of additional lines in this room and move them all upstairs. That is going to be the main goal. Now, technically, I mean, here's the thing. Cave Troll is going to be so deep that the only place to put it, it's going to be right here. I really wish I could just keep Transformers here because I love it. I wish I could just like convert this to Lord of the Rings. And theoretically, I probably could. Like, let's say I moved Game of Thrones, Warcraft, Turtles, and everything upstairs. And this room was specifically Transformers, Monsterverse, and Lord of the Rings. 3 themes. That could technically work. I could definitely fit those upstairs, plus Avatar and AVP. So you could definitely fit all that upstairs. Which we have to think about how you would do Lord of the Rings if you gained all of this as space. You'd have to, therefore, put the Cave Troll right here. And Gandalf and Sauron are both very deep statues. Trinity is easy to move. Same with, like, if you technically needed that space. Now, granted, they fit perfectly fine down low. There's not necessarily a huge reason to move Trinity. However, you could possibly. I mean, yes, you can put Gandalf on that shelf, but it will stick out quite a bit. It's already sticking off that shelf, and that's a 24-inch deep. So you can imagine, I mean, there's a little bit of space in the back because I want to be able to rotate it. So I have about half an inch, which allows me to rotate it. But you can see if it was on this shelf, it'd be sticking off to right here. Like if you were to, let's say, put it over here. Like let's say you wanted to do all the Fellowship over here. You could probably put Treebeard in the closet and the Trinity with Gandalf and Frodo up top and Sam and whatever down low. You definitely would have to do Cave Troll right there, and it would stick off the shelf. You could make that a baddies wall, if you think about it. Since we already have all villains, you might as well remove all the good guys and make that a villains wall. In fact, this entire section needs to be villains if you're going to do that. The good guys can go over here. So let's think about this for a sec. Cave Troll right there. I mean, Sauron technically could fit. Obviously, he's just going to float off the shelf several inches. We would just have to deal with it. It's not like that big of a deal. In fact, I could just put him on a Lazy Susan. He's floating above. So we could just move Sauron right there. And next to Sauron, I would honestly probably just move those 2 orcs and do an orc on each side because I've always liked that look. In addition, there's 2 orcs here. So you'd have 4 orcs with Sauron and Cave Troll. Everything else underneath. Now, this wall, ideally, I'd like to keep it a bust wall. So, I mean, obviously you have Gollum down there with Frodo. You'd move Frodo and the orcs. Gollum, I mean, him by himself doesn't make a ton of sense. It would make more sense Gollum and like another life-size something down low. I know there's like helmets and whatnot. We need to keep it villainy. So I would just have to look into it. I mean, you could get like a life-size helmet of the Berserker Uruk-hai. That would potentially make sense. Life-size, you don't necessarily need Saruman's ball because you're getting it with the bust. I mean, Uruk-hai plus maybe some props. Or just in general, Lord of the Ring props down low. That potentially could work. You also could technically find the bigger Barad-dûr and just display it down there. We got that tiny little one. However, we could easily move that out and do a bigger Weta version right there next to him, because that would look cool. And in essence, do the 2 towers on each side. So let's just say we do that. So the big thing is you add Cave Troll on this wall and move the good guys out. And this is a villain's setup. Everything from Transformers to Monsterverse remains the exact same outside of you remove Master Splinter and do something transformery there. I mean, you could fill up some of the little busts. If you want to remove all the little busts out and put them on little glass shelves so it's kind of scattered. So it kind of frees up these shelves to look a little bit more clean. You know, like this is here, it doesn't have to be there. It looks cool, but you could move that in Optimus, clean up the shelves a little bit, and just put all the busts in there. So let's just say we have this setup. Now we need to fit Saruman bust and Lurtz bust. Both could go right here. Well, Saruman is really big. Like he's deep. He's 25 inches deep. He's 30, like basically he's as wide as this, 33 inches. So he would have to probably go right here. And I could do like the two little towers, Lord of the Rings DVD and the COA. So you put him here, then you do Lurtz bust here. You do Balrog down low, Fell Beast diorama here. And right here you have space for technically one more life-size bust. It would have to be villain related, because villains are basically going to fill everything up into the closet. And down low with Fell Beast, I would say you'd want to do like a 1/20th scale diorama. That would make the most sense. So I would have to look to see what's out there, because ideally I want, like, I'm trying to make all the scales match, like the scaling. So if this is all quarter scale, this is all life size. Down low is all like 1/20th-ish. Really between 1/10 and 1/20 would work. But one more Lord of the Rings dio down there, probably something Weta or Iron Studios related. Obviously I used to have the Iron Studios Cave Troll, but if we're getting the big Cave Troll, I don't think we need the little one. And we were at Balrog Felby, so another key character. And we'd want a life-size bust next to Lurtz. You could do an orc. That would 100% work. I know there are some orc life-size busts out there. I could probably commission one with Jupe and have him make me one. So I have seen some really cool-looking orc busts. So let's just say we do an orc bust here with Lurtz, and then Saruman, so it's like 3 busts in a row. 3 busts in a row. Theoretically, you could also just do Gollum bust right here, and then right there, you'd obviously have some space to do whatever. If you needed additional quarter scales, you could just keep them there. And then, so here would be the good guys. Now, of course, I also do want Treebeard, which also could go in the closet, which would mean you'd have to do Saruman right here with Lurtz. I'd have to see if I could get it to fix. This is only 20 inches, and it says it's 25. So maybe we have to try that so we could fit Treebeard in the closet, although that has a little less ceiling. So honestly, I just need to see Treebeard. On this wall, the way we'd have to do it is you'd probably want Gandalf in the corner due to him sticking off the shelf and have it diagonally angled. Then you would basically just do the Trinity. So Gandalf and Trinity. Down low, you would do Frodo, and then whenever they make Sam, do Sam, and also do Boromir. So you do like Frodo, Sam, Boromir, and then hopefully Treebeard. And if we can fit, Saruman and Lurtz bust right here. So that could actually work really good if you think about it. Lord of the Rings, all basically more than half the room, and then Transformers and Monsterverse. So I like this idea. I think it would work really good. Just 3 themes, 3 movies only in this room. If we want to get the additional Monsterverse statues, I would say we have to sell Transformers and do it top and bottom. I really do like top and bottom matching. I just think it looks much better than different theme top and bottom. Unless the entire room is that way, like it's all randomized. But in here, I do love seeing Transformers here, Transformers there. Now, this is longer, so technically you could do Monsterverse on this side. The reason we do it is because Shockwave is so deep. You want that space there. So if I do want to get the new Monsterverse, we'd basically want to sell all of this and then put all Monsterverse down low. Like, basically from here to there, all that would have to go down low, which I really dislike, by the way. I don't mind this. Don't like any of that down low at all. Not a fan in the slightest of doing that. Additionally, you'd probably need to buy Converse Skullcrawler or do the axe down low like differently with its base somehow next to the bust. Like maybe like angled towards the base. However, I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, I really like the idea of getting the new Monsterverse. I don't know if it'd necessarily be better than all these Transformers. These Transformers are sick as fuck. So, yeah, that's a tough one. Plus, obviously, it's very difficult to sell Transformers. It wouldn't fund all of it. You'd definitely lose money on Transformers. And I don't think I can honestly ever sell that one. I love that one so much. That one is like the most difficult thing to sell for me personally, just because I like it that much. So, yeah, anyways, that's if I wanted to do Monsterverse. Although the other idea is if you did do Transformers like here and then just did Monsterverse here, I mean, you could theoretically do Monsterverse top and bottom just on these two garage shelves and do Transformers from here to here, top and bottom. Would that fit? Yes. That would definitely fit. You would have to do top, like King Ghidorah. I'd do King Ghidorah here, and then Godzilla vs. Kong here. And then you'd basically do the two busts with that there, and then you just buy Kong vs. Skullcrawler again. Kind of how I did it in the other room. And then this shelf would remain Transformers, and all of this would be Transformers. Kind of like my OG idea where you do Optimus bus, Optimus Jetwing, Shockwave, Sentinel Prime, Bumblebee bus, Bumblebee. And then the only hard part about that is that guy, he doesn't necessarily fit in this setup. Although, technically, if you do the 60-inch there instead of that, you could fit those three. And then you'd have to somehow fit... that's a tough one. You may have to sell one Transformers if you do that, just due to the nature of the way this would work. It just doesn't fit perfectly. So in essence, you're trading out one Transformers for almost Kong vs. Skullcrawler, if you were to do that. Frankly, I think Transformers is cooler. Now, let's kind of talk upstairs for a sec. So, upstairs, you have to fit Warcraft, Turtles, Game of Thrones, Avatar, Alien, and Predator. That is the key things to move upstairs to make this work. Let's go upstairs and see how we can do that. Alrighty, so also in addition, we need to get the 1/6 T-Rex. So 1/6 T-Rex goes right here. And most likely down low, I would just do the other 1/6 Raptor from Lost World. So that more or less takes up to the bed. So you basically have from the bed to here, and you technically could put a shelf here. If you remove that out, you could also do one shelf here, like a small 3-tiered shelf. I mean, you could put statues technically on this. It's a Besta. Loki's crying. He wants to come in. Loki. This little guy. Loki has to be with his daddy. He is, although the first thing the cats do when they come in here is they go to the statues. Loki. He's the cutest little cat though, folks. Cutest little kitty cat ever. Loki, say hi to YouTubers. All right, so here we do basically 3 48-inch wide shelves. Game of Thrones is going to fit one shelf, top, bottom, boom. Oh, and cute. Warcraft's going to fit one, top and bottom, boom. Third one, Predator, Alien. Oh man, look at that. He's doing the paw thing. Oh, so cute. He purrs constantly. So, I mean, you could just say Avatar bust in 1/3. Down low, you could do Pacific Rim. That would fit everything here. You'd have to do Alien and Predator right here. That's the only way that would work. AVP on a 60-inch wide garage shelf with busts and props underneath. That's the way to do it. So, one Jurassic shelf, Avatar top, Pacific Rim bottom. Warcraft top and bottom, Game of Thrones top and bottom. That is the only way to do it. And then AVP here. If you wanted to put... Actually, wait, we have the turtles we were also talking about. Look at that. They go for the greenery. Loki! The turtles. That's right. The turtles, I mean, theoretically, you could go where Pacific Rim is if I don't buy Pacific Rim. So, Loki. Yeah, they always like to crawl in things. I don't understand how people do cats in their collection. Let's watch. He's going to try to crawl in there. I mean, you could fit some statues in this white shelf, like I was saying. But, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you like this potential idea? Just moving, like, Warcraft and all that up here. And so this room, in essence, is half dinosaurs. The rest of the half is kind of just like a few different themes, from Warcraft to Game of Thrones, Alien and Predator. Theoretically, I could also just do Alien and Predator mid-room in the theater room downstairs to keep this clear. So if you did just want to do that, you just do Avatar, Game of Thrones, Warcraft, and you could do the Ninja Turtles or Pacific Rim. Anyways, folks, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.